evening, everyone. Come on in. We still have a few minutes, so this gives us time to come on in, get your shoes off, grab a seat, get ready when we get on to class. Okay? So again, get a moment, grab a drink of water if you need one, and we have probably a minute or so, and we'll get to class. So while we're waiting and we're getting changed, and maybe last minute of tying up the gi and getting the obi nice and straight. What we're going to look at tonight is how does a technique, for example, progress for a student through the art of Nyingbulam, right? How does one technique, when you start learning it at white belt, progress and get more challenging or more dynamic as you get farther and farther in ranks? I know we've talked a lot about different techniques, like punches and kicks, but the one I'm going to look at tonight to kind of simplify my next 20 minutes or so will be an uchi-uki, an inside middle block. Okay, so again, we have a minute. Grab yourself a drink of water if you need. Give the last minute stretch if you haven't already stretched, because remember, you always should give a good stretch before class. Very important, keeps us young, keeps us healthy. Okay, so tonight we're going to look at an uchi-uki. So what's an uchi-uki? Is an inside middle block. It's one of the first the first 5 blocks you learn, right? It is typically the second block you'll learn after you learn a low block. So we're going to start off actually very simple, feet shoulder width wide. So we're going to look at where the hands go. So an uchi-uki, again, we have our prep hand. It comes across our body. Fist is in line with the shoulder. This 90-degree corner, okay? Our blocking hand comes from underneath, okay? So when a inside middle block is executed, this hand starts to come out straight at first. But once it passes this forearm, because this forearm's starting to come back, it comes, what I like to say, like a windshield wiper. It comes across the body, okay? It's not straight and out. And right now on the camera, you'll get a very good shot of that. If a punch was coming right here, I would physically miss the whole punch and get hit. So it becomes a windshield wiper because I'm protecting this part of my body. Okay? So typical, anywhere from a solar plexus up, right top of the rib cage in this area. So it starts from underneath, back my palm to my elbow, and becomes a windshield wiper. Okay, where does it end? It ends in line with this shoulder. There's no sense to be blocking out here if someone's punching out there. Let them waste their own energy. Okay, we come to here. And again, 90-degree elbow bend, and I drop my fist until it's the same height as my shoulder. Okay, if you notice, I've turned my wrist slightly. Why have I done this? I want to turn it and keep it fairly almost to a vertical punch position, so I'm blocking with 2 bones, right? Not 1 bone. Much stronger block, much better for the body. Less chance of breaking your own arm. Very common. Traditionally, we would always get taught this and so it can. One downfall, 1 bone exposed. Here, 2 bones. Better, safer for us as the blocker. Okay? So, that's the basic block. So how does this basic block now progress through the ranks? Okay? I brought a friend tonight. I know we have, obviously social distancing, so I brought along what I like to call my 70-pound buddy. Okay? What it is it's a 70-pound heavy bag I've had for many years. I've taken the chains off of it. It's great for many drills. I use it for teaching students how to power roundhouse kick, stand here, let them kick the heck out of it. Okay? Ground and pound drills, many things, right? Very, very useful. Okay? Honestly, I probably get more use of it now since I've taken the chains off of it than I did when I used to hang it. Okay, so what we're going to use this for tonight, and I'll try to keep them centered in the camera. Stand still, friend. Okay, that's going to give us a point of focus, right? Because we need to know, as we practice even by ourselves, where is our uki? And this helps us with our visualization as well, right? Because some people have a challenge of truly visualizing someone punching at them and where to block, where to punch. A little tool like this can really help, right? And it could be anything. In this case, I'm going to use my friend, okay? So, a typical block, I'm going to move this back a little bit so I keep myself in frame, is we're here, okay, very basic. The man is in front of us, this is the person. They're facing this way, right? So I'm here, defensive. Okay? So if we looked at a basic block, the man would be punching, right? I don't want to stand here and block, okay? I'm going to get hit, right? So the first thing, you might start off as a white belt doing it very stationary, right? So you'll get you back in a left hand forward stance, and you'll just do stationary, right? Uchi-yoki, inside middle block, right? So you can stand here in front of your friend, right? And practice that, right? Keeping within this box. Think, okay, he is a person, right? So I want to block, okay? So at lower belts, you're learning that basic first movement of the arms of the block, okay? So now, think of a block. As it progresses, we have a block. Now we learn how to block and add a strike to it, okay? Later on, when we get down to our black belt, or depending on how you want to look at the pyramid, right, is we have block strike. It becomes all one. So right now, that was just a simple block, right? So if I was facing this way, so you kind of get a square view, this would be my person. I prep, I would block, right? Prep, block, right? Blocking was inside this target. So now we progress, right? Student's been with you for a while, right? Now let's start a little bit of body movement. You kind of going up and down the floor, learning good movement drills, getting his feet going in the right direction. So now we got to learn how to move, okay? So again, I'm in my left hand forward stance, right? This stance, right behind the target, here, okay? So I'm basically, they're facing straight at me, my hips are square with their hips. So now if someone punches, right, now we want to start teaching the student to move is how to move, right? Because it's more effective a block if I can block it outside its range of power, okay? The punch is coming straight in here. So when I block, I'm going to take my front foot, I'm going to step out with it, okay? So my left foot. I'm going to slide my right foot over. As I do so, I'm going to turn my hips now. So now you'll see that I'm off, actually on a 45-degree angle to my target, okay? So now I'm here, defensive stance, I step, block, okay? Very important, we move first. I know a lot of teachers will be on top of the student at first to make it all one movement. But I'm a firm believer, evade first, block second, right? If your block fails, at least you've evaded the punch or the strike, right? Very important, evade, then block. So I'm here, you'd step right over, just straight, right in line with your own shoulder line, step, turn, right? So now as we turn, boom, we execute our block. So now we're blocking to the outside of that person's arm, right? They are punching with this arm. Punch is coming from this side. We're here. I step, block. Okay? And now you can teach a student the counter. Okay? So even from that very first drill, when you're teaching the student, right? You're teaching the block, counter, right? That nice simple reverse punch. Block, counter, right? And this is also good to help them learn where center is, right? Where is center in front of me? So again, right down at a basic, talking a white, yellow, we're getting going. Hips are nice and square, right? We teach them that block, uchi-yoki, reverse punch, okay? So that way they're learning where center is. So now, again, we progress a little farther. So now, as we're up in the mid-ranks, we're going to start moving a little more. We block, counter. The nice thing now is I've blocked to the outside of his body, and I'm countering. In this case, I'm going to be punching here, floating ribs. Okay? So again, step, block, counter. Okay? So at first there'll be a step, block, counter. So almost 3 steps. As they get better, again, right? And this is how this technique progresses. The step and the block becomes one motion. Then we punch. Okay? So that teaches the student now, guess what? It's not step, block, punch. Takes too long, right? By the time you get to punch, you've already been hit. So we need to speed that up. And it's reduced steps of movement. So we step, block, punch. Okay? You add the step and the block together, followed by the punch. Okay? So yeah, yes, you can progress even farther, right? And what we're going to look at now is what are the next, could be the next steps. Again, I'm going to demonstrate this from a couple different angles because it's always good to see my, where it is from different angles. So I'm going to move this over. Stay there, buddy. Thank you. We're in our left hand forward stance. Again, nice new student, whites, yellows. Okay, we prep our block. We block, we punch. Okay? If I'm going the other side, I would from here, I would block, punch. And remember, watch the hips, right? Because this is more than just moving these arms. Right? We block, hips, torque, we torque. We punch, we torque back the other direction. Okay? And again, great tool to learn where center is, where is my attack. Because after a while, you won't need this because it becomes, you'll get better and better at visualizing, okay? So now I'm going to go on to where the movement comes in, the next sets of drills. You could say, so we're here, my defensive stance. Maybe we're going to break it down to 3 steps. So the first step would be step, step, turn my hips. Now I'm on a 45. Next step, prep, block. Next step, 3, punch, okay? So now you're progressing with that simple block. So again, we're in our left hand forward stance, saying it towards our target. Okay, so we're going to do our step first, step, step, we turn, block, punch. So it becomes 3 steps. Now, we get used to that, right? Get a little better, a little more confident. We're here. Now we're going to step, step, block, all in one motion, punch. And the ultimate goal is, in this step and block, is by the time your feet stop moving, your block is contacting the man's punch, right? It's already hitting counter. So it happens now. So that foot stopped, boom, my block should be there, punch. That's what you ultimately shoot for. So that gives that student even more to work towards, right? Is that body timing. Taking it from multiple steps, right? And slowly putting it together and reducing movement and that getting that timing down to learn how that body all goes together in one motion, okay? We got a few minutes left. We got about 5 minutes or so, 6 minutes. So we're going to go on to the next level, okay? How would you take this block now and take it to maybe to the next step, okay? You know, you're at your browns, the black belts, first stands, okay? So now we're going to look at that same block, Uchiyoki. We've trained a while, many years by this point, right? We know the man's going to punch straight. So he's going to punch me here, okay? So now knowing that I don't have to move far, right? Because very little, more body movement or more movement I do, more steps I do, they all take time. Even milliseconds, but it all takes time. So what makes a martial artist look so fast, or what makes us so fast, is our reduction of unneeded movement, okay? So, less movement is better. I'm lazy, I'm getting old. So, less steps the better. So my attacker coming at me this way, right? They're going to punch at me. I'm in my defensive stance. So if this punch is coming straight in here, all I need to do is step on my 45 and block to the center of my body. There's no need to block over here anymore, okay? Because I'm already past his punch. I'm past that point, okay? I don't have to go far, but it's timing, right? You have to be quick. It just becomes here, okay? I like having this hand up as a defensive hand, boom, because his shoulder, their shoulder, if you look where the target is, would be right about there. I'm blocking more or less the elbow to the tricep, not down here, okay? So it's all upper arm tricep block at this point. And it's simple as I go 45, block, okay? I'm kissing his arm. So now what makes this even better and more quicker, and it comes with practice, it's putting it all together in a strike in one motion. So we block, strike. This block, since it's already prepped, and I teach all our students, the main thing about Nyingbulam is this hand, doesn't matter what block I do, it is always in a punch position, so it can be thrown as a reverse vertical punch. So now that also keeps your wrist straight and stops it from getting injured during blocks. So we're here, We block the center of our body, so it becomes a very short turn. Boom. Right? Very quick. Okay? So now you put that whole technique together. Okay? It becomes one fluid motion. Okay? So that's ultimately, you know, so even at a brown belt, you could break it down by, you know, you break it down. A blue-brown into those 2 steps. 1, 2. Okay? Back. But as they get better and practice, right, what you're looking for is that one constant movement. That block punch happens all in one motion. And here, all one motion, right? Block center of my body, punching behind the ear line. Practice here. So after a while, it becomes one nice, simple motion. Okay? So, all your blocks, all your techniques in the art, and that's how, you know, we take those techniques and they seem very simple and you progress them through years of practice, right? No one comes in with a black belt. We all come in with a white belt, right? So a progressionary training like this helps that student learn that technique and get really good at what they do, right? You can progress and they don't get bored because that simple block you start off with, right? Eventually can be moved for more things. Block, do an arm bar, right? So many things you can do. And excellent. And practice, 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 right? That's the biggest thing, everyone, okay? I'm going to roll this to the side for a second. And again, all it is, 70-pound heavy bag, no chains, very handy, right? Use it for lots of drills, like I said, standing drills, ground drills. I've had that bag probably for 20 years. Paid for itself 15 ago. But perfect, everyone. I do have a couple quick announcements. Well, that's why I'm kind of cutting it a little early. Couple big announcements, actually. As most people know, Nyingbulam, we have grown over the years, right? Started off, honestly, as a family art, right? Taught to my family, my friends, and a chosen few. Over the years, we've expanded. We have now clubs across Ontario. I have taught the art, and I have students all across North America now, Canada, US, and even Europe. And on that topic of Europe, next Wednesday, we're going to have a special guest. He is a friend, dear friend, student. We've known each other. The first time we met each other, I started teaching was probably 8 years ago. And he's from Porto, the beautiful city of Porto, the beautiful country of Portugal. His name is Bruno Leo. He is the owner of the Six Pack Academy. He is actually, a quick little thing about him, I'll give you a little bit of tidbit, and he'll probably explain about himself too. He is a professional strongman, or more retired. He trains professional strong athletes, males and females, as well as he is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Started teaching them Nyingbu techniques, like I said, 7-8 years ago. Has always been a good friend, a follower, loved the art, still kept in touch. Still keep in touch. So, and again, he's going to be our special guest star. That's where I'm going with this. So next Wednesday, he will be broadcasting live from his academy in Porto. Downfall is, everyone, he'll be broadcasting probably 10:30 his time, which will be about 5:30ish our time Eastern. So I know it's on at 7, but don't be afraid. He'll still stay up like the rest of the videos. So if you're 7 o'clock's your sweet time, jump on the website at 7 o'clock on the Facebook page here and watch the video. Okay, don't miss it. It's going to be he's a great instructor, great human being. I'm proud to have him part of our family, and don't miss. All right, excellent. So now we're going to bow out, everyone. Nice feet together. We'll go skeet. Right. Shizentai. Thank you very much. Class dismissed. Thank you again for watching, everyone, and make sure you tune in next Wednesday for Sensei Bruno Leo. Bye.